So hi everyone, my name's Hugh Davies. I'm one of the founders at Ozone API and I'm part of the advisory board at the Payment Association, and as part of that I play the role of being mentor for Project Open Banking. Really excited to be joined by Jan from Tink. Jan, who is one of the biggest movers and shakers in the whole world of open banking and driving a lot of the policy and regulatory and strategy focus at Tink. And I know that's not the role, the job title, Jan, but hopefully it's close enough. And today we're just going to do a short update on all things open banking and Project Open Banking. So Jan, I'll perhaps start with a first question. So open banking from the beginning has been a kind of a world of acronyms with ASPSPs and AISPs and PISPs and all sorts of other things. And we've got a whole load of new ones recently. So we've got JROC, which is the Joint Regulatory Oversight Committee, trying to work out the future direction. And that's created the SWG, the Strategic Working Group. And underneath that in itself is massive. And underneath that, there's a whole load of other advisory groups, which are all absolutely huge. What's going on? And also, what does that mean for Project Open Banking?
Right. Thanks, Hugh. And you did get my title nearly right. So head of industry strategy. And in my role, it's become quite fascinating, right, to see how this, especially the UK market, has been evolving. So JROC, it's not a Japanese rock band. It is the Oversight Committee. Where in fact there are 4 authorities now overlooking the future of the open banking community. So you got His Majesty's Treasury, you got the Financial Conduct Authority, but also they are supported by the Payment Systems Regulator, as well as the Competition and Markets Authority. So you got 4 authorities together contemplating what to do with the future of open banking and how to basically put in place incentives and a framework that will allow for effective collaboration across the industry and competition to help drive more innovation and more consumer and business value in the payments and in financial information landscape. So the strategic working group that you referred to kicked off a series of sprints around payments, data, and ecosystem, asking basically selected individuals and representatives of different industry participants to respond to a set of questions that the committee had articulated in order to get a clear understanding in terms of what the industry wants in a very short period of time. And this has been quite interesting to see from up close.
Yeah, you hear the phrase herding cats sometimes. I imagine this is quite a challenge to get all of the views in a really tight period of time. So what does this mean for Project Open Banking and the role of the Payment Association?
Well, at Project Open Banking, we've had quite a close proximity to some of the authorities that are involved in the strategic working group and in JROC as a whole. And so we organize quarterly liaisons, for instance, with the Financial Conduct Authority, and we've had the Payment Systems Regulator present to the project members on multiple occasions. Now, what's come out of those engagements is also the explicit request from the authorities to organize workshops around some of the key questions that they've had in relation to the future of open banking. And so one of the things that we have done over the last couple of weeks is basically organize week-to-week workshops around some of the outcomes that in particular the Payment Systems Regulator, the PSR, was hoping to achieve through sort of the incubation of account-to-account retail transactions. So that is basically the outcome of that is a report that we'll submit directly to that commission. And hopefully we'll have good representation and a reflection of the interest that different member participants have. Also showcasing that there are areas where there are opportunities for compromise and opportunities to meet each other, the different stakeholders halfway. But at the same time, having a direct impact and influence on policymaking, which I think is one of the things that our project team is doing very well.
Yeah, and there have been a huge amount of workshops and activity over the last few weeks. Actually, a call out and thanks to David Parker and team for facilitating those and driving the process, and all of the members of the team who've taken part and contributed to those sessions. They've been really good. So thanks to all. So there's loads going on. I guess switching gear a bit, if we think about the sort of economic and political situation at the moment, I mean, we are in a bit of a cost of living crisis right now in Britain. What do you think open banking can bring in that sort of environment? Why is this a really important topic right now?
Yeah. I mean, it's all over the news, right? Not only is it related to sort of the increasing gas prices, the rate of inflation, the growing interest rates, but also now as a result of the mini budget, we've seen the markets now responding to their confidence, or reflecting their confidence in the UK economy, which is clearly illustrated by the devaluation of the sterling, of the pound sterling. And I think that means that increasingly there is a necessity to make sure that all of us in the financial services industry protect consumers from making decisions that will put them in a difficult situation, a situation of financial distress. In fact, the FCA issued a letter not too long ago to 3,000 credit institutions, reminding them that it is their duty to protect the vulnerable. And so over the last couple of years, you'll see that many open banking service providers, including Tink, have been working on launching various products and services that help credit institutions, but also retail banks and PSPs, help their customers by enabling them to get a multi-banking overview over all of their financial accounts, providing tools for budgeting and for financial forecasting, but also in helping assess affordability, which is different than, for instance, creditworthiness, as affordability looks forward into the future, to what extent someone is able to afford additional credits, considering their lifestyle and primary expenses, versus if someone's able to pay their credits as a reflection of income and debt. So there's an interesting move towards a different way of looking at credit, and open banking really plays a central part of that evolution.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I mean, we're so at Ozone API, we're working with banks all around the world to help them deliver their open banking, open finance APIs, and yeah, they're the two themes that come out strongly everywhere. Sort of improving access to credit and using open banking to make better decisions, and helping people budget and make those finances go a little bit further. So yeah, I think right now open banking couldn't be more important to the economy. So I think it is something that we should, as an industry, be taking very seriously and getting right. So I guess a final question in this brief update. So what's next for Projects Open Banking?
Right. I mean, there is so much potential for this project to unlock. We are looking closely in terms of how we as an industry can work closer together to enable payments to see broader adoption across different segments of merchants and different industries. We're working together on identifying how we can potentially promote and showcase different use cases of open banking clear. But we also continue to work intensively with some of the authorities that I mentioned earlier, as we haven't sort of come to the end of these discussions. As you can probably imagine, Hugh, and I think many of us in the industry, the future of open banking in the UK market is not set in stone. And so I think it is a really interesting and exciting opportunity for this project group to have a direct impact in terms of what that is going to look like.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of committees to influence, as we mentioned earlier. Jan, thank you. This has been a really good update. If any of the members are interested in getting your sleeve rolled up and more involved in Project Open Banking, please just get in touch with myself, Jan, or Tom Bruin. But for this month, that's the update. Thank you.